Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claybon here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland, celebrating being together, not necessarily celebrating what happened last week, Cynthia, because we were in such a good spot, and then Greg just goes on a tear.
Hey, you know, it's just more intrigue to the end of our season. Like we're not mailing anything in. We're not in it for the playoffs. Like we're here.
Okay, but I've been holding.
It's all about intrigue.
Holding that lead. You guys catch up, and then
last year?
Pull back ahead. Let's go.
And 2 years ago?
I won last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but okay.
Well, yeah. So Greg currently is holding on to that crown, 132 and 76. But we are looming, as we were prior to again. Greg taking, 3 losses going courtesy of me and Cynthia. But
It's okay. I'm not worried. We're okay.
This week, the Saturday Showdown is back with an exclusive triple header live on NFL Network. Watch Vikings Bengals at 1 o'clock Eastern, followed by the Steelers Colts and Broncos Lions in prime time. Saturday only on NFL Network, also streaming on NFL Plus. So why don't we get right into Saturday's matchups? We're really looking forward to these games, starting with the Vikings and the Bengals. Nick Mullins gets to start at quarterback for Minnesota. Justin Jefferson is expected to play. Greg, do you expect the Vikings to win?
I do not, because I expect the Jake Browning Express to continue to roll. Bengals win this one 20-16. I can't believe how well Jake Browning is playing, how well Zach Taylor is coaching, and it's partly because they're changing who they are. You're looking at Chase Brown get one of the fastest miles per hour all year on Next Gen Stats with effective screen passes. And I know it's helping Jake Browning get the job done throwing these screens. But what it's also doing is letting this offensive line get out in space. They've been playing really well. The running backs and Joe Mixon are making bigger plays in space. Jake Browning is getting rid of the ball more quickly, and it's partly because Zach Taylor is dialing up effective plays. It's a totally different offense. It's a drop-back offense. It's play action. I give them a ton of credit. I think they're playing better all around the quarterback now that Joe Burrow is out.
I sense a little frustration for the Jake Browning fans. Like, oh, Greg is about to give us the Jake, and it's like a bunch of screen passes.
But it's working. It's working.
It is working. This would be the week. The Vikings defense is legit. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Vikings offense at the moment, though. Kurt Warner did confirm my priors this week when he was looking at the game last week and said, why is Josh Dobbs going to the bench at this point? Nick Mullins comes in. He immediately almost has a turnover-worthy play. I'm not sold on Nick Mullins in this one. I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning 17-13.
How dare you not be sold on Nick Mullins?
Coming out of the gate with a prime number? Okay. Give it to me, baby.
Yours.
I've got 21-19 in favor of the Vikings in this matchup. Why? Because let's remember, Nick Mullins wasn't their backup option. He was actually their first backup option, but he was just hurt when they needed a backup. That's a lot of saying the word backup all in a row. But I'm very good at it. Apparently, I nailed it. Look, Mullins to Hawkinson, that actually was working. Now, you factor in JJ being back. You factor in a lot of interesting looks when it comes to how they're going to be able to use Jordan Addison, and things are going to be fun to watch, and this defense is legit.
All right, we got another team in the wild card race. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They started the season 6-3. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Pittsburgh dropped 2 straight to the Cardinals and the Patriots. The first team in NFL history with a winning record to lose consecutive games against teams that entered 8+ games under 500 in a single season. Considering all that, the Steelers face the Colts Saturday in Indy. Both teams were 7-6, clinging to wild card spots here. Cynthia, what do you see taking place?
Woo, lots of stuff. I hear lots of stuff. I see lots of stuff. But I think the Colts win this one 21-20. Michael Pittman Jr., let's talk about him. He has the 4th most receptions with 95 in the league. He is tied for second with 13 contested catches this season. Let's just take a look at anyone who's looking to get the bag, and that would be something Michael Pittman Jr. is in the running for, meaning this offseason he could get paid.
He should.
He's going to show you what he's got, and this is actually a very playoff-relevant game, so big players, big spots, big money. Everybody likes money.
That truer words have never been said on this show. Everybody likes money.
Yeah, money is good. Shout out to the folks who have it. We're trying to get like you. I heard something from a brilliant football mind a couple of weeks ago, and that was Gardner Minshew can't keep getting away with this. Greg Rosenthal
Yes,
said that.
that was
He promptly went out and did not get away with it. Mitchell Trubisky hasn't gotten away with anything since 2018. Last week, he had a negative 20 EPA against 7 or more defenders. They were looking at Mitchell Trubisky and saying, yeah, you want to throw the ball? That's completely fine. I am completely fine picking the Indianapolis Colts here, considering just how much of a struggle the passing game looked for Pittsburgh last week.
Yeah, I don't trust either of these two teams. I don't trust either of these two quarterbacks. But I do trust the coaching staff in Pittsburgh and running back in Pittsburgh. Give me a Just Greg for Jaylen Warren. I'm feeling it. Nailed 2 Just Gregs last week. And Jaylen Warren has turned into one of the best running backs in the league. Full stop. He is 2nd overall in the league this year in rush yards over expected. He has the most yards after contact per carry of any running back in the league with over 75 carries. He forces a lot of missed tackles as a runner and as a receiver. He's top 10 in the league in yards per route run. This dude just gets it done. And when I saw TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are back for this game, it just feels like an organizational win. Pittsburgh Steelers get it done, and Gardner Minshew cannot keep getting away with it.
We'll see. Somebody's got to get away with it. The somebody gets away with it game. Looking forward to seeing that one coming up this weekend. The Saturday nightcap features a Broncos team that's won 6 of the last 7 games. The acrobatics of Cortland Sutton, a big reason for Denver's big turnaround.
Russ takes the snap, steps up, now throws a deep ball. He wants Cortland Sutton in the end zone. Cortland goes up and makes the catch. Touchdown, Denver, as Cortland, much like an NBA power forward, just blocked out Davis, caught the ball. From here, it looked like with one arm.
The Broncos Lions Saturday night in Motown. Denver rolling lately. Detroit losing 2 of their last 3. Cynthia, your belief in Detroit ebbs and flows, mostly flowing away, or is it flowing back towards the Lions on Saturday?
This is where my stomach and my model do not agree. My stomach says that the Broncos win. My model has actually a pretty significant win for Detroit with 4 points, 26-22. Okay. Why? Because of the O-line. You know, I studied, my master's thesis was on O-line play, so turns out it makes like a big difference. And I'm still paying for that, so I feel like if I shout out Northwestern, do you think they'll give me some sort of discount? Probably not, but
should.
You know, whatever. Frank Ragnow turns out really important center. When he wasn't there, look at what that defense did to the Lions offense. Not good things. Like, that's not a fun situation for Jared Goff to be in. As much as we like to say that indoor-outdoor splits are a big deal for him, probably more important that the O-line be intact. So Frank Ragnow being there, they use 6 O-linemen quite a bit. That's the normal center to quarterback handoff. Even just like a half a second more is a huge deal when it comes to like the minuscule amount of time that you have in the NFL to pass the ball.
I'm kind of in the same place as you. My head says one thing, my heart says the other. The heart's with the Lions. I just want to root for the Lions.
My heart is always with them. It has been, even when they like went winless in an entire season.
And this is going to be the nightcap on Saturday. It's NFL Network. Look, I don't want to be a company man here. There's 5 games this week that have 2 winning teams playing each other. 3 of them are on NFL Network in a row, and the Lions aren't going to let us down in primetime. They're too good, 27-26. I love what Dan Campbell did this week. He said he thought it was a positive that his best players weren't showing up in a big way because he knows those players will respond. You see Jared Goff, you see Amon-Ra St. Brown. They had a rough game last week. Some drops from Amon-Ra. Aiden Hutchinson, some mental errors last week against the Bears. When he said best players, I think he was talking about his tackles too, Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. All these guys, they've been through the process in Detroit, getting better and better. And Denver's a beatable team. 4.5 points is too much for me. But this just feels, again, like an organizational win where everything they've been building is enough to get it done against a flawed Broncos team. 1-point win. I don't like them by much, but I like them to win.
You both mentioned the flaws for the Detroit Lions. The Denver Broncos, of course, have their flaws. I am taking the Denver Broncos here. 24-21. Because let's look at the Detroit defense. They're at the bottom of the league when they do get pressure. When they do blitz, they're also at the bottom of the league. And maybe you might think the Broncos aren't the team to exploit this. What my pick presupposes is that they are. Russell Wilson has completed 2.3% over expectations since week 7, the 5th highest in the league. Of course, you just saw in that music video we played before the game, Courtland Sutton has been on fire. I think they take the shots deep and expose this Lions defense that has been exposable. And if you look at the Detroit Lions losses this season, they scored 31 in one loss. But since then, they haven't scored more than 22 points in a single loss. There's been problems on offense. I think Denver gets the win here. Coming up, the game, boo away. I'll take the stream on there.
I'm glad we're not memeing. I'm glad.
Yeah, super confident in that one. Dak Prescott and the red-hot Cowboys versus Josh Allen and the Bills. Picks for this monster matchup coming up next on Game Day View.
Straybon, we got a prime number, we got a Just Greg, all in the A block.
All in the A.
Company man.
NFL Game Day View is presented by Mercedes-Benz and the Holiday Love Celebration. Wherever home is, get there safely this season.
We're back on Game Day View. Let's flash back 30 years to Super Bowl 27 between the Cowboys and the Bills. Troy Aikman threw 4 touchdowns on his way to Super Bowl MVP. Our colleague, Michael Irvin, had himself a day, 114 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys crushed the Bills 52-17. They would also beat Buffalo the following year in Super Bowl 28. Some time has passed.
Super Bowls, they used to be bad.
It's time for the Drive to Excellence, presented by Mercedes-Benz. The stakes not quite as high as when they met in the Super Bowl, but Sunday's Cowboys-Bills matchup, huge, especially for Buffalo. Dallas has his eyes on the top seed in the NFC. Buffalo just wants to get into the dance. What happens in the game?
I struggled all week because I've picked the Cowboys game correctly for 9 straight weeks.
Humble brag.
But I've also picked the Bills
brag.
to win.
There's nothing humble
It's not humble. The Bills to win every time this season, all 13 weeks. And I thought something has to give. And what's going to give is the Bills defense trying to stop my guy, Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is an upgrade from Dalton Schultz. I didn't expect this coming into the year. They've done such a good job finding different elements to this passing attack outside of CeeDee Lamb. And I look at this Bills defense right now, and I actually think Sean McDermott is doing a good job considering all the pieces that they're missing, but they keep adding those pieces that are gone. Micah Hyde out this week. AJ Epinesa probably out this week. It's too much. He starts off the game well, really game planning, showing a lot of different things, and then eventually talent wins out, and there is no more talented offense right now than the Cowboys, especially up front. I think they give Dak a ton of time, and they win in a score fest. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking over at the Dallas Cowboys defense. The Dan Quinn's squad has been spectacular this season, but there was kind of a festival of turnovers during the middle part of the season that hasn't really been in town the last few weeks, but what they have been able to do is show how good in coverage they can be, especially Stephon Gilmore. Deron Bland we don't really need to talk a lot about what he has done this season, but I look at Buffalo and the way that they're utilizing Stephon Diggs, a lot of balls around the line of scrimmage, not a lot of deep shots to Stephon Diggs. They can't find a way to target Gabe Davis. Everything's running through Dalton Kincaid. There's so much wrong with Buffalo that's also solved by the fact that Josh Allen is a mechanized defense destroyer. But I think Josh Allen's going to give the ball back to Dallas a couple times this when I have the Cowboys, Cynthia.
Well, give me another prime number, and I'm glad to take the Bills in a prime number. Do I feel great about it? Not really. It's a 2-point win, 27-25. What's the difference between this Buffalo team and a couple of weeks ago? Well, James Cook catching balls. That's the difference. And we saw him reach the end zone last week. It was a big deal, especially early in the game. The scripted portion of the game, meaning the first 15, 20 plays of the game, looked really good. Oh, look at that. I don't think they told him to do that. Probably not in the script. However, look at how the different alignments he's lined up in. And those shorter passes to a very wide open receiver, actually running back turned receiver, that will help Josh Allen from turning the football over. You can also target the linebacker level of this defense. They were thinking about it too. They wanted to go get Shaq Leonard. The Eagles beat him to the punch. They know they got some missing pieces there too. They're missing their Diggs. The Bills have their Diggs. So I think this is a situation where the team that's like a little hungrier in the cold, this is a sneaky game. The Cowboys don't really need it. The Bills are clawing at it. I don't love it.
I'm kind of with, I don't know. I don't feel good about this.
The narrative,
this is gonna
but
hurt
also
my
the math.
feelings when you're right. So be happy with that.
Anytime any of us are right, my feelings are completely fine. Last week's Rams-Ravens matchups, one of the best games of the year. Tylan Wallace had a walk-off score in overtime. Just a spectacular finish for the fans that stayed in the rain.
Punting to Tylan Wallace. Evans hangs a wobbler. Wallace settles under it at the 25, gets a block, comes to the near side, 30. Spins out of one tackle, 35, along the near sideline, 40. He's at midfield. Wallace to the 40, still on his feet, 30, 20, 10. Celebration time. No flags. Wallace in the end zone. Hayes in the barn, and the Ravens win it in overtime.
What Tyler Wallace said was a moment he'll never forget. Has the Ravens in the top seed in the AFC. They face the Jags Sunday night in Jacksonville. Losing 2 straight are the folks in Duval. What do you see happening in this game?
I see a beatdown with the Ravens winning this game 31-20. Maybe it'll be worse, but I don't want Jaguars fans coming at me. Lamar Jackson is so comfortable right now in the pocket, and he's also scrambling. Sometimes his offensive coordinator is also dialing up wide open plays, which is nice. Our green room, Patrick, we were watching Jaguars Ravens from a year ago. Yeah. I've never seen Patrick so upset watching a game that ended a year ago. But it was because their offensive coordinator is just running Lamar Jackson into a brick wall and running like a 1920s offense. Now we've updated it with Todd Monken. We're throwing to open receivers, and we're doing it against a very flawed Jacksonville defense, which is missing Andre Sisco, which is missing Tyson Campbell, 2 of their best players in the secondary. Their linebackers have struggled, and Lamar, along with Monken and all the weapons around him, really pick on those mismatches. Think the Ravens roll.
Well, I'm with you on the Ravens. I'm thinking it's a little bit closer of a game. I just have a 3-point win, 25-22 in this one. But I do want to point out that it could get out of hand. The reason I think it won't, I'll tell you at the end. But the linebackers for the Jags are a liability. It hasn't been good. This is a situation where it's kind of a, I'm meeting up, like, this is my strength and that's your weakness, and they're kind of exploiting each other here. I do think if you look at what happens with play action passing, not great, right? You're just going to kind of eat their lunch every single time. So I'm looking at the Jags defense and saying you got to figure it out. However, I will say on the other side, just so to tell you why it's going to be a little bit closer, I think they're going to watch that film of the Rams, because the Jags, they like to steal other people's plays, and they're going to watch the Rams film, and they're going to get their run game going a little bit better with Travis Etienne. That's the reason why it's closer.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some issues up front throughout this season for Jacksonville. I, surprise, will take the Baltimore Ravens.
Have you ever not picked them?
We have to go back to Tyler Huntley games last year. But
yeah, okay.
The last
Got
time
it.
I did not pick the Baltimore Ravens, but I asked the folks at home, what's the game this year where I should have not picked the Baltimore Ravens? Coming off to Cynthia's point, I do want to honor 2 off-ball linebackers for the Baltimore Ravens. In fact, let's honor all of them, because there was a conversation in the previous years about, off-ball linebacker, you're a dime a dozen. Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith have been so good, especially in the run game and the screen game, just shutting so many things down so fast to the ball. They have been spectacular. And again, teams that don't have those guys who can make those plays have had a lot of issues on defense.
Like the Jaguars.
Yeah, like Jacksonville. I just want to highlight that and meme away. We are all on the Baltimore Ravens.
I feel good about it.
I feel good about this one, too.
I'm worried. Still to come, the Eagles are on the struggle bus. They've been outscored 75-32 the last 2 games. Will they right the ship Monday night in Seattle? Our picks for that matchup coming up next on Game Day View.
Game day dip in the oven? Just tell Siri. Remind me to check the food in 10 minutes.
You want even more NFL action this season? Get access to NFL Plus Premium and stream live games on mobile, NFL Red Zone, us on NFL Network, game replays, and more. It is all in one place. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply. Monday Night Football, the Eagles and the Seahawks in Seattle. After starting the season 10-1, Philly has been crushed in their last 2 games by the Niners and the Cowboys. Do the Eagles stop the bleeding on Monday night, Greg?
I don't think they do it. I think the Seahawks get it done in an upset, 33-30. Remember the last time we saw Geno Smith? By the way, this pick goes away if Geno Smith doesn't play. But I think he's going to play. He's at practice. The last time he played, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, whatever night it was beautiful. He was throwing dimes. He was out of his mind, really, against this Dallas team. There were 5 or 6 throws in this game that were just outrageous. And I look at this Eagles defense since week 8, 31st in the league in EPA per play allowed. There's only 32 teams. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, I think they're the perfect matchup right now. They also struggle, the Eagles do, against tight ends. Noah Fant can get it done. Darius Slay missed 2 days of practice. We don't even know if he's going to play. I think Seattle at home, who needs this game just as badly as Philadelphia, gets it done. They played the 49ers better than the Cowboys. Than the Eagles. They play the Cowboys better than the Eagles did.
Well, depending on the final injury report, because I only have a 1-point win for the Philadelphia Eagles, 23-22. Depending on some missing pieces with Darius Slay and, of course, Geno Smith's status, this could flip. So we'll have to be monitoring that. But I want to point out Jackson Smith and Jigba. Why? Because just like Greg mentioned, there are some interesting areas where like tight ends have looked weird. But then you go back and you map out what routes are tight ends running that this team runs. So not just Noah Fan, who is a tight end, but also Jackson Smith and Jigba on those tight end-like routes. So other teams use tight ends. They can use a wide receiver just because they have three. That's where he could be really impactful. Remember, we had a game where Jake Bobo scored a touchdown. This team's not afraid to come out. Shane Waldron, he sees some of these job openings. He's like, hey, my offense is good. Don't just talk about Ben Johnson. Keep Cynthia having her Lions OC. Come take me instead.
That's what we need from you, Shane Waldron. We need to keep Ben Johnson in Detroit.
Get your grubby paws off of him.
I'm looking back. I'm thinking back to the Thursday night game where the Seattle offense was so good. I mean, Geno and DK up and down the field against the Cowboys, but it's not the offense. That's not the reason I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the defense. And the Eagles' ground game, if you've been waiting for that big DeAndre Swift game late this season, I think this is it. The number 31 defense in the entire league in defending outside tackle runs, number 29 defense in overall rush efficiency. It has just been a rough stretch for the Seattle defense and a rough stretch for the Philadelphia offense on the ground. I think they get back on track on Monday Night Football. Another big primetime game for DeAndre Swift, Greg.
And another Just Greg. Let's go. I mean, you think with the lead that I'm going to get scared? No, Just Greg Nation, we're hitting off 2 wins last week. Give me that graphic. I'm being so obnoxious. My parents once said, if you're ever winning something, enjoy it while you can. It might not last. So I'm enjoying it right now.
That I've gone by myself more than anybody else.
Yeah, Patrick is the bold.
Shooters shoot. As we get to quick picks, presented by Zillow. Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a shocking Monday night loss, one of the first in NFL history, at least that we've seen, losing with that lead at that point in the game. Zach Wilson coming off the best game of his career. Tyreek is questionable. Does that mean you're thinking Jets, Greg?
I am taking the Dolphins, though, because I'm not that bold. Let's not get crazy. It's 8.5 points. But I only have a 1-point victory. And if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, I'm telling you, Zach Wilson's coming off the best game of his career.
In the rain.
The offensive line, right now the Dolphins are down to 1 starting offensive lineman.
I'm just asking.
It's Teron Armstead.
I just wanted to remind everyone that it's going to be raining.
Okay, that to me maybe even helps the Jets. It's a defensive game. It's ugly.
The Dolphins don't need to blitz anyone to get pressure.
Dolphins are really good defensively, and ultimately I don't trust the Jets enough. But that was a great Zach Wilson game, player of the week.
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
Nathaniel Hackett, 2024. 49ers, Cardinals. San Francisco's won 5 straight since coming off their bye week. How do you see this playing out, Cynthia?
I think they win 6 straight. So I'm looking at this game 29-17, and I'm thinking about my fantasy friends because it's your playoffs, and you need to know, what do I do with Kyler Murray? And the answer is you probably still start him. There are a lot of backup quarterbacks playing. You're not going to find the better kind of output here. He does throw the deep ball really well, and if there is one area of the San Francisco defense that you can exploit, it is deep passes in the secondary from a mobile quarterback. So I think this could be a situation where, for fantasy only, because of the game scripting and what should be a big come-from-behind situation or attempt to come from behind situation, if I'm a fantasy player or I like DFS or whatever I do with my Sunday, I'm going to be looking at Kyler Murray as a potential upside candidate.
All right, upside game for Kyler. I will take one of Kyler's division opponents, the Rams, in their game against the Washington Commanders. And I think Sean McVay's team, currently sitting at 6-7, they need the win. And I think they get the win here against a kind of struggling, and well, let's erase the kind of struggling Commanders defense. And looking at Puka Nacua, who has 7 or more targets in every single game that he's ever played. Wow. When Puka Nacua is on the field, he is getting 7 or more targets. He got 9 last week, 84 yards, and a great catch against the Baltimore Ravens. I think the way Matthew Stafford is playing right now, this one not close, 28-23 for me with the Rams winning. Coming up, Joe Flacco has been cooking. Can he keep things going Sunday against Justin Fields and the Bears? Our picks right after this quick break.
It's 2nd down and 6 from the 11-yard line. Good snap. Mayfield looking. Throws the ball left. There's a caught ball, touchdown. Tampa Bay. Cade Otton makes it over the shoulder catch, and the Bucs retake the lead.
Love Gene Deckerhoff. It's time for Pizza pregame predictions delivered by Little Caesars. Packers in Lambeau. Tampa currently atop the NFC South, while Green Bay clinging to the final wild card spot in the NFC. Did they maintain that cling, Greg?
I don't think they do. I'm going to have the Packers win this game 24-21, but I think it's close because I want to take you to the future. The year is 2037. AI is actually running a few different teams as football coaches, but Joe Barry is still the defensive coordinator for the Packers, and they're still giving up huge rushing yards every week. This week it's Rachaad White. The Bucs have a running game. That's kind of fun. That wasn't happening early in the season. Every week I watch Rachaad White, and I gotta say, I was wrong about you, Rachaad White. You're running the ball well. You're nice as a receiver, and this matchup is great. So maybe we'll hear Deckerhoff. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
I love it.
I agree. I've got Green Bay winning this one 23-20 because let's go back to Monday night. Love was good in certain situations on Monday Night Football. He continued his hot stretch, but things were a little gusty in MetLife, and he does like to throw these. In fact, he may be fading away in all these completions that we're seeing. He loves the Dirk Nowitzki one-legged fadeaway. When the wind is gusting at up to 20 miles an hour, that's not necessarily the thing that you like to do, but 3 of 10 for 76 yards and a pick on passes over 10 air yards Monday. I don't think he duplicates that. I think the Packers win it.
Green Bay all across for us. Go ahead and meme away. I have 23-19. Meme alert. 23-19 in this matchup. I want to dial into what Jordan Love is starting to show us. Like, we talk about quarterbacks going from the 100 to 200 level, 200, 300. What's going on with the blitz? Well, Jordan Love has actually been really good against the blitz. 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception, 94.5 passer rating. But I did see last week against the Giants, that's when that interception happened. And some of the blitzes, especially when you have an even more interesting type of blitz, that's going to be in the future where we see some things with him that we're going to have to overcome, meaning teams that are really good at it, but that's not necessarily the case against the Bucs. It's just something to watch out for. Bucs secondary is not their strongest point in this team, but I do want to say, like, some of those tricky blitzes, the things that are disguised blitzes, the things that ahead of the snap look different, he's starting to get there, but he's like 300 level, not like 500 level.
Not master's thesis.
No,
on
he's
offensive line.
Not master's. Northwestern, you can send that check this way.
Send Cynthia some of that money back.
A little refund, you know?
An offense which we're all picking, where the average age is under 26, to the Browns, who are currently the 5 seed in the AFC, and 38-year-old Joe Flacco has the dog pound believing.
3rd and 1. Takes it, turns, bootlegs it out to the right. He's got a man wide open, and Joku's got it at the 5, going in. Touchdown! 2nd and 5. Flacco back, looks middle, and Joku wide open. 20, 15, corner, 10, 5, touchdown! He's got 2. 2, they do. He rolls right. He throws the middle. It's wide open. Down at the 25, at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! It's David Bell!
Look at the scream from Joe Flacco. The Browns playing host to Justin Fields and the Bears. Chicago winners of 3 of their last 4. Greg, do they make it 4 of their last 5?
I think they do. I like the upset. I like the Bears. 19-17. It's a defensive game, and yet the Browns defense is great, but the Bears defense is great too. I regret to inform all the Bears fans who never want to believe that their team is good. I think your team is good right now. You're the berserker. You're the berserker that beats some good teams down the stretch. Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson, these young players in the secondary. Yeah, that's my friend Mark Sessler's word for who's going to go crazy at the end of the year. They're out of the mix, really, but they're going to mess up your playoff team. And this secondary is really communicating well. They pass off the receivers well. It was kind of the vision for Matt Eberflus, and it took like a year and a half to get here, but it's here. I think they have a really good defense.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Pace, who made the call. Go back to Week 9. The Bears have the lowest passer rating allowed in the entire NFL. since week 9. I am taking the Chicago Bears as well because you bring in Montez Sweat and all of a sudden the pass rush looks a little bit better. People start to believe the field position gets a little bit better. The offense comes out there. Justin Fields starts making plays. He's looking down the field to DJ Moore. Everything is coming up Chicago right now. And Greg mentioned like fatalistic Bears fans. We got one in our ear right now who doesn't necessarily want to believe, but I believe in Chicago.
I like the fact that the defense is getting better, but like, can we stop forgetting that Cleveland's defense is certifiably awesome, like the #1 scoring defense? It's not like we're talking about any old defense here. 24-19, the Brownies take this one. I'm sorry, Hytham, it's not personal, clearly. It's a prime number. Why? Well, I want to talk about something that Justin Fields does. He takes a long time before he throws. In fact, the longest per Next Gen Stats, 3.13 seconds. He also has a top 4 sacks taken rate, 3.6 per game. Myles Garrett hasn't registered a sack in 3 games. Never in his career has he gone 4 games without registering a sack. This is a situation where, especially if Denzel Ward comes back, both Denzel Ward and Emerson, they're guys who are ranked in the top 5 in terms of corners in limiting passer rating of their opponents. I like the improvement that the Bears defense has had. Ryan Poles, we went to college together, love him, but this is still a defense that the Browns is like a really like historically good, like very, very good defense. So just a little. Am I crazy? You guys making me feel like I'm crazy?
No, you're not
over
crazy.
Here.
I just
Not
feel
crazy
like
at all.
Browns fans, they're expecting some misery too. Now is the time of year it usually comes.
Yeah, somebody's going to be sad. Well, most teams are going to be sad. But if the playoffs started today, 1, that would be very scary and we'd be concerned. But 2, Cleveland will be in the tournament. Let's check out the rest of the playoff picture in the AFC. Baltimore holding on to that 1 seed. But looking down in the hunt is everybody. Except for a few teams, sorry. But literally everybody. Speaking of the playoffs, you want the In the Hunt graphic? It's featured on Saturday here on NFL Network, a triple header, 6 teams all in the postseason hunt.
Wow.
Vikings Bengals at 1 o'clock Eastern, followed by the Steelers Colts and the Broncos Lions in prime time Saturday, only on NFL Network, also streaming on NFL Plus. In fact, let's dive into some player props for the Saturday games, including starting off with some rushing yards, 76.5. Justin Jefferson will catch the ball. Will he have 76.5 receiving yards?
He will have more than that. I really need Greg to just keep throwing his little thing and not catching it. I like the opportunity here. I like the Bengals defense, but they're not at full capacity either. Justin Jefferson, get right situation for him to kind of get his sea legs back under him, and we know Nick Mullins likes to.
Okay, I was trying to spin it like you do like a tennis racket. Look at that.
there
Let's
we go.
go. Let's go
How
up
many
on Jamar
practices did
Chase.
it
That's
take?
what I'm doing. I'm just going to lead right into it. Jamar Chase has more catches this year, by the way, than he's ever had in his career. It's like, even though Joe Burrow's there, Jake Browning, Jamar Chase against this defense. Look, they're a great defense, the Vikings this year, but I still think they can give up some big plays.
Yeah, they can. And also, Najee Harris has had more than 51.5 rushing yards in a few games this season. I think this will be another one of these games for Najee Harris. I don't know how much Pittsburgh is going to put the ball in the air with Mitch Trubisky. I think they keep it on the ground. Good games from both Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. Let's go back to you, Cynthia. Gardner Minshew, more or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Whoa!
2. But he could turn the ball over because I think that it's going to come down to kind of the final possession here. 2 passing touchdowns. I don't think it'll be him rushing in the football like he did in some past games.
All right, Jared Goff, Greg, more or less than 251.5 passing yards.
I actually think they get in trouble when he throws too much. I'm going less. I have the Lions winning. Relax. I have the Lions winning.
Just
but
feisty.
When I look at the matchup, I look at the running game. That's, to me, where Detroit needs to get back to dominating.
Fair.
Jahmyr Gibbs,
Good.
David Montgomery. Against this Broncos defense, not great against the run, so I'm going less.
In that game, Russell Wilson, more or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns Saturday night, and I think it's more. And I think the people seated to my left also agree with me, despite the fact that they picked the Detroit Lions. The Lions defense occasionally prone to some problems. And Cynthia's got earmuffs, but they don't work.
Not listening anymore. I'm done.
But see, you wouldn't be able to acknowledge that if you. Anyway, still to come, Tommy DeVito and the G-Men have won 3 straight games, getting the pride of New Jersey. Keep it rolling Sunday in the Big Easy. Our picks for Saints Giants coming up next.
Handoff Barkley, pitches it back to DeVito, throws a deep ball down the left side, and he completes it at the 12-yard line. He underthrew it, but Wan'Dale Robinson came back for it, and he's tackled there. Back to throw, looks to his right, rolls to his right, looking for someone on cover, throws to the end zone, touchdown Giants! Isaiah Hodgins made the catch, got the feed in! What a throw by DeVito! And Tommy does the Italian thing!
And Tommy does the Italian thing.
The Italian thing.
The Italian thing.
I'm Italian, I can do it.
There
I'm
it is.
Italian, I can do it.
We're still waiting on
Paisan!
for clearance. Tommy Cutlets and the Giants have won 3 straight games. The G-Men taking on the Saints in New Orleans. The Saints can still win their division. Everybody can, except you Panthers. Sorry. What do you see taking place, Cynthia?
I think New Orleans wins this one, but just by 2, 20-18. I really, I want to pick the Giants. It's so much fun. I love, all of this going on. You know, not a lot of us Italian folk get, we're not typically very tall, so it's not a big football situation. But I love this one, but Alvin Kamara, unfortunately, plays for the Saints. And when I'm looking at what he does to the outside, don't run away from the best part of where that Giants front has been operating. Kayvon Thibodeau took a huge step forward this season. There's a lot of good things going on, but Alvin Kamara, especially when he runs to the outside, he's just going someplace that they don't have a great answer for. And now we get Taysom Hill back, which means there's going to be tricks, and we know what happens with tricks, and then Alvin Kamara tends to lend to a Saints win.
I do like it when Taysom Hill is back on the field. And
Taysom tricks.
I haven't known what to do all week in this game. I don't feel good about either. I have the Saints winning this game by 1 point. And sometimes when you count on one thing as your pillar as a team, I'm not doing it right now, you know. When you count on one pillar as a team, it's your run defense in New Orleans. That's the thing you build on. And then the one thing that you've been great year after year, hey, we got to keep Dennis Allen. Can't mess with this great defense, especially this run defense. When that starts to fall apart, and they've been a bad run defense for a while, that does worry me that the foundation of the whole thing is falling apart. So I don't feel good. This is a vibes off. The Saints have the worst vibes in the league. The Giants have the best. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Flip it.
I want to do something we've never done in the history of this show. I will flip my pick, but only if one of you comes with me. I know you haven't even made your pick, I know where you're leaning. But if you come with me to the Giants side, I will flip it.
Why don't we all go Giants so then we go down as a unit? We can all really think it's the Saints.
But
if we all pick the same, and we all kind of think it's more fun, and I'm Italian. Let's do it. Come on.
I'm in.
Flip.
I already told you.
Flip.
Oh, well, now I've been peer
We all have to.
into this. But I will say, before we'll get the final picks out, stay tuned on social media to figure out what we're picking with regards to this game. Derek Carr is actually throwing the deep ball to the 3rd highest percentage in the entire NFL right now. And against the blitz, the intermediate ball has not been happening. It has not happened in New Orleans pretty much all season. But with Rashid Shaheed back, Derek Carr is going to take some shots down the field. We know Wink is going to blitz, whether it's working or not. And I think, as of right now, the Saints win this game, but I could be peer pressured into taking
If we all take it, then it's
I didn't even think Cynthia was a possibility because this would be the first pick also in the history of the show that she didn't go with the model.
Well, but if it nullifies the game.
Now, if I've got both of you, I think we all got to switch it. Come on.
Okay. Why not?
Let's go.
We're all taking the New York
look at that.
It's
confidence.
It's like they knew it was, but we legitimately, I have no idea what is happening on the show that I'm currently supposed to be hosting. But I do know we're trying to get you some quick picks here coming up. There we go. The Chiefs and the Patriots in Gillette. Kansas City losing 2 in a row. Patrick Mahomes could put on a show in New England, or does he, Greg?
I don't think he puts on a show, but I think he wins 23-17. Look, Bailey Zappi and Patrick Mahomes, very different, but they're alike in one way.
Ow.
They've each thrown 1 touchdown that went for over 20 air yards all season. That's it. They've each thrown 1. So 2 quarterbacks, and you just saw Mahomes is. Zappi's actually went a little bit further. Look at that nice little throw.
They're basically the same player.
They're similar in some ways, and the Patriots defense can keep it close. Why not?
All right. We're all on the Chiefs there. Texans and Titans in Nashville. C.J. Stroud, unfortunately, doubtful for this one. Nico Collins, also questionable. What do you see taking place?
21-18 in favor of the Titans due to all of the injuries to the Texans. But I'm looking at DeAndre Hopkins, and I think Miami on some they just let him get away. You're really going to give DeAndre Hopkins more than 3 yards of cushion? Okay, that'll turn out well for you. But also, even on those contested catches, he's been a menace his entire career. So I'm looking at this opportunity.
Great right here.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
is
look,
old man
at least
ball.
that one was in coverage. There was a touchdown. Look at that. Sure, he's on the edge. He's right at the perimeter, but nobody's there. They just let him go.
Well, he's in my fantasy lineup this week, so
Yeah,
let's
ready?
go, Duke.
And open. Why are you giving him 3 yards of cushion? Why are you giving him 3 feet of cushion?
An
I don't know.
interesting decision, considering the threats. Who's the receiving threat for the Titans? It's going to be Luke Hopkins. Let's keep things southerly. The Falcons and the Panthers. Atlanta looking to bounce back after last week's loss that came in the final minutes to the Bucs. I think there's a chance for that big Bijan game. Before last week, he had over 20 touches a game in the previous 3 weeks, and then it was down to 15. Why not load him up against that Panthers defense and get Bijan out in space? Football space, not we don't want Bijan on any rockets or anything like that. 24-17 is my pick, as we've all got the Atlanta Falcons winning. All right, keeping pace with the Saints, who apparently we all have losing. Still to come, we got bold predictions for Week 15. Stick around for some spice on Game Day View, presented by Mercedes.
I mean, I'd write down
33 to 10.
Yeah, I'd write down the Falcons winning by 3. Why not? Come on.
Get your game day started Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern with NFL Game Day Morning.
I find playing quarterback sexy.
Well then, Kurt, you're going to love Dak Prescott and Josh Allen going head-to-head in Buffalo. We'll let you know which quarterback will continue their hot streak.
Here we go!
Last week, Patrick Mahomes was held under 300 yards passing for the 6th straight game. We'll explain why it might be more of the same on Sunday in Foxborough. And after a disastrous Dolphins collapse on Monday night, Michael Irvin weighs in on if his AFC Super Bowl pick is built to compete with the AFC's elite. Plus, we'll break down all the playoff fallout from our huge Saturday triple header. All that and much more Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to our Saturday triple header. But we need you to look forward to right now, because we got some things you should write down. It is our Week 15 predictions that Greg Rosenthal leads us off.
Yeah, I had so many things. I wrote down 3 things. Some free ones. Falcons going to win easy. Jets keep it close. But the one I like the best is the Bears winning this game outright over the Browns, and Justin Fields going over 56 yards rushing. I'm just going bonuses all around. I'm going to make it harder on myself. This team is coming into their own right now. Defensively, I talked about it. Offensively, Fields is doing a nice job of taking the rushing yards when they're there. Some design runs, some shots downfield. That'll be tough against the Browns. I think it's a defensive game, but I think he runs. That's the weakness of this Browns defense, is defending the run.
We have a sexy showdown of quarterbacks on Sunday's game day morning. I'm going to give you a kiss right now. Keep it simple. On Saturday, Jahmyr Gibbs, his longest rush will be at least 13 yards. That's it. We're going to keep it really simple.
Is that a thing that you can do, that you can write it down?
100%.
Will be at least 13.
It's going to be more than 13 yards.
I feel like he's done that many straight.
Correct.
Just
which
as
is
a
why
Jahmyr Gibbs fan.
Which is why we're going to kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
Or silly, or...
Well, yeah, it depends on the target.
The prime number of people know exactly about this.
Yes.
You know.
Our types of folks. Folks, Russell Wilson will pass for more than 217 yards on Saturday night against the Detroit Lions. It's a number he's hit many times this season, especially when the opponent's pass defense has shown some flaws. Russ is able to step up and hit some deep shots to Courtland Sutton. I believe that he will do that.
Where can I watch that game?
You can watch that game, Cynthia, as well as 2 other games in a Saturday triple header right here on NFL Network.
No.
Also available
this
on
network?
NFL Plus. Yeah.
And while you're seeing Russell Wilson do that, just imagine Cynthia's reaction as it's happening.
No.
Lions will win, though. Lions will win.
It'll be just like that. Thanks for watching Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. We'll see you coming up next week. Enjoy the games, everybody.